listening to PetLifeRadio.com.
This episode brought to you by PetFlow, the leader in pet food and supplies.
It's a big world out there, and you're just looking for a pat on the back or head. You run around the city, searching for a place to bark, working your tail off with your nose to the ground, sniffing for a few scraps, hoping someone will throw you a bone. You take each lead, collar after collar, hoping one day to take a bite out of success and become the top dog. Fortunately, you come home each day to open arms, open cans, a drink waiting for you, and a comfortable place in front of a TV set. You know you've got it good, really good, because after all, it's a doggy dog world out there. Pet Life Radio presents It's a Doggy Dog World with your host, pet expert and award-winning author Liz Palaika, and this week's co-hosts Kate Abbott and Petra Burke.
Hi, welcome to It's a Doggy Dog World. I'm your host, Liz Palaika, and with me today are my two friends, Petra Burke. Oh, I jumped that time, didn't I? She's eager today. And Kate Abbott.
How do?
Oh, Lordy. Not that we never have fun and while we're recording these. On our podcast tonight, we're going to basically think outside the box a little bit. And then some of these are things that we talk about with our students at Kindred Spirits Dog Training, but also just to give you some ideas on living with your dog and how to use some obedience commands or tricks or things in ways that perhaps you haven't thought about. So this podcast is all about thinking outside the box. This podcast is sponsored by PetFlow.com/doggy. PetFlow is a online distributor of pet foods. I believe they have over 150 brands. They've also got dog chews. And let me tell you, with 3 dogs and adolescent puppy in the house, I go through dog chews. I placed an order with PetFlow. This is an unsolicited, true
testimonial.
Testify,
Liz, testify.
I placed an order with them. They didn't know who I was. And you know how some websites are really difficult to place an order through?
Yeah.
Some of them can be real challenging. This one was very easy to set up an account, and I got those dog chews delivered to my house within 2 days.
Cool. Nice.
It was very nice. The whole process was very easy. And they've got quite a good selection, too. I know we all use bully sticks. Mm-hmm. I also like a lot of the Merrick brand chews, and they have quite a few of those, including the cow's ears, which is a favorite of my dogs. Not pig's ears, but the cow's ears. And the braided bully sticks that take a little bit longer for them to chew.
Yeah, especially if you own a power chewer.
Yes, like I do. Mm-hmm. So anyway, if you go up to PetFlow, www.petflow.com/doggy, DOGGY, for It's a Doggy Dog World, you'll get free shipping for any order over $39. That's a discount for our listeners. So take advantage of it. And
but you'll have to use that product code.
And yes, it'll be petflow.com/doggy and put in the coupon code. Don't forget the coupon code. And you'll get free shipping on any order over $39. And later in tonight's show, we'll talk a little bit more about some of the products we've already checked out ourselves and give you some more information on those. So stay with us.
Sit. Stay. It's a Doggy Dog World. We'll be right back after a short pause. Well, 4 to be exact.
Join the Dog Ring Revolution. If you love your dog and want to take them everywhere you go, now you can with Dog Ring. Dog Ring is a hands-free way to include your dog in more activities and give you the freedom to take your dog almost anywhere. It's a safe and easy way to secure your dog. It clips around trees, posts, and poles in seconds. It's lightweight, portable, and strong. It has a free sliding leash which allows your dog to run around without getting tangled up. Perfect for parks, picnics, barbecues, camping, lounging outside, and furry fun adventures everywhere. Now you can be part of the Dog Ring Revolution. Visit thedogring.com and sign up for our Kickstarter campaign. Registration is now open. Go to thedogring.com. That's thedogring.com.
Your dog digs a hole under your fence, and the next thing you know, Protect your pets with Dig Defense, the amazing new product that keeps your pets in the yard. Dig Defense is safe, fast, and easy. Each unit is made from 4-gauge galvanized American steel and can be used for repairing dig-outs, filling gaps, or to hold fences down so pets can't get under them. Dig Defense provides peace of mind that your pets are contained humanely and safely. Visit digdefense.com today. DIGDEFENCE.com.
It's the Daily Doorbusters from Pet Flow, the leader in pet food and supplies. Opportunity knocks every day with hundreds of products offered at huge discounts. Up to 80% for your furry best friends. And delivered right to your door. Go to petflow.com/doggy. These deals last for one day only, so act fast. 150 brands to choose from. Pet food, treats, toys, and more items than you can shake a tail at. And get free shipping on orders of $39 or more. A new deal every day. Get your paws on today's Pet Flow Daily Doorbusters deal. Go to petflow.com/doggy now.
Hi, I'm Dr. Jeff Werber from Ask the Vets with Dr. Jeff here on Pet Life Radio. We want to hear from you. Listen in. We're on every Thursday, 1 o'clock Pacific Time, 4 o'clock Eastern Time here on PetLifeRadio.com. We are one of the only live shows on Pet Life Radio, and I'm here to answer your questions. So you can call in at 877-385-8882, or you can drop me an email to drjeff@PetLifeRadio.com, and hopefully we'll see you here on Thursdays.
Let's talk pets.
Let's talk pets
On Pet Life Radio.
Pet Life Radio.
PetLifeRadio.com.
We know you're begging for more. So back to It's a Doggy Dog World with your fetching hosts, Liz Palika, and this week's co-hosts, Kate Abbott and Petra Burke.
Back to our show, Thinking Outside the Box. Kate, you suggested this topic for a podcast, so what was your thought processes?
Well,
that's a scary question.
Are you sure you want to go down that dark and torturous path?
You brought it up.
Well, it's more of a confession.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Get your pens and paper ready. There'll be a test.
There's no blackmail opportunities. I was talking with some students about things we do in our after-graduate class, our continuing education class, like putting T-shirts on the dogs. And
or tutus and scarves
and socks and things. And, there was, that sounds like fun. And one guy was kind of like, well, what'd you do that for? And I said, well, A, it's fun. But B, there is a purpose to it. Like most of the stuff that we do.
There's a method.
There's
a method to our madness.
I said, what happens if your dog is injured and has to wear a comb? Then, having worn a hat is not going to make it an enjoyable thing, but a little less traumatic. If they have to have their legs bandaged, then having worn socks or T-shirts or even shorts.
Sure.
It's not that big a deal.
Or even wearing a shirt, because how many dogs have we seen that had maybe something moved on the shoulder, or something that's on their chest area? You put a shirt on, they're
so
not
they don't scratching
and looking at it or anything.
Or, as we mentioned not too long ago, we're in Southern California. It's the beginning of September right now. It's hot and humid and muggy, and Montana sounds really, really nice right about now. But come winter, our dogs would freeze.
Yeah.
They need a jacket and boots.
And your dog, your little Jack Russell has no coat.
And that kind of reminded me, I put some boots, little boots on him the other day just to start getting him used to it in the cold, wet weather. And he was a little, but he was able to walk around in them, and it was no big deal. But if I waited until the day that I needed to use them, he would be not a happy camper. So this way he's gotten used to it. So there's more than one way to do. I mean, we play games with the dogs. We play fetch. Okay, that's a fun game. But why not teach them to fetch an object? And then I don't have to put on my bathrobe in the morning. I can open the door enough to let my dog go out down the stairs and grab the newspaper and come back in.
There you go.
So it's just another version of fetch. So teach them, take it one step further. There are times when we're sitting around on these. Did we mention it was hot and muggy? And
we're we whiners.
Yeah, we're whiners. And we're drinking our water bottles. And all of a sudden I'll look around and notice that 2 or 3 dogs are all bright-eyed.
Finish it up.
Finish it up.
Quick.
Right. Because first of all, it's a fun toy. It goes crinkle, crinkle, crinkle. And then they get to go put it in the trash, in the recycle bin. And that's like, yay! That's like watching a basketball star. I can't think of any at the moment. I don't know. One of them getting to make a basket.
Let's see, we used to be Magic Johnson. I know he's probably retired now, but...
many years retired, yes.
Okay.
How about Kareem? I do remember Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Many years retired.
Yeah. So...
As you two date yourselves.
How about The White Shadow? Remember that TV show, The White Shadow? Anyway.
I remember White Men Can't Jump.
Right.
Oh, we just went off a...
Tangent? Yeah.
Can you spell tangent, boys and girls?
So anyway, thinking
Fine
outside
stuff.
the box is alternative ways to do things.
So we were talking in a previous podcast about having your kids come home from school and you give the kids some treats and they go hide somewhere and you tell the dog, "Where is Susie?" And Susie starts calling the dog. Okay. But you used a version of that, Petra, when your own daughter was a teenager.
I did. Yeah, and of course it wasn't with the small dog. I used the bigger dog.
The German Shepherd.
100-pound German Shepherd. And like all parents out there know, waking the kids up to go to school is
waking
chore.
A teenager up.
Oh my gosh, it's crazy. So instead of me doing it, they always, no, and turn around and hide their head, I just sent the dog in.
Right.
It was like, and Kayla always had a tendency to hide, and she'd like cocoon herself under the blanket, so you never saw her. But the dog, with his nose, like, go find Kayla. Find her, and it's like, found her, kaboom, right on top. Woke her up, licked her face, and she had to get up.
You take that game of go find from the kids calling them to just finding the kids,
right,
to being able to use it. Hey, it's time to go to school. Come on, get up. Let's get going. Let the dog go in and nag them and have a fun
Kayla?
time.
Go find Kayla. And he would just go crazy and found her and so happy as she's like, no, and moaning. But, it was
as a 100-pound dog danced on her back.
Yeah. It was very rewarding for the dog.
Exactly.
And for Mom.
And me. It's rewarding for the parents and the dog.
And useful for the child, even if they don't agree.
Exactly.
The second comment made in the same week was somebody goes, I don't want to teach my dog tricks. I just want him to behave. But I started thinking about how all of these tricks turn into useful things. The newspaper, or on the cold nights when I come home from late night class with wet, muddy shoes, my dog brings me my slippers.
When's that?
I know. It was in a land far away, in an age long ago. My dog...
About 3 months.
Yeah. My dog brings me my slippers from my bedroom and then takes my shoes back.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then he takes a shoe back, brings a slipper, takes a shoe back, brings a slipper.
So how useful? That's one. It saves me 3 minutes, but it's 3 minutes that I enjoy.
And he enjoys.
Oh, he's thrilled. He's like, take your shoe off, take your shoe off, take your shoe off.
And I have fun with Cisco with kind of a similar trick. It started with the retrieve, the get it. And I purposely get out of the shower, leave the wet towel on the floor, leave the washcloth on the floor, and Cisco, get that. Put it in the hamper. Good boy. Get this one. Put it in the hamper. Good boy. And he is so proud of himself, especially when he picks up one of the big, heavy, damp towels that are big enough to towel him off with, and he drags it behind him to the hamper, and then he has to gather it all up in his mouth, lift it up into the hamper, and my hamper's pretty tall. It's probably about 30 inches tall, which is taller than he is. Pick it up and get it all in the hamper. And now it may take him 2 or 3 tries to bunch it up in his mouth.
Right.
But he does not want help.
Oh.
I am not to help him. He must do this. As far as he's concerned, this is his job. And now the whole time, his little stub of an Australian Shepherd tail is wagging. And when he gets it in there, I don't even have to say anything. He's spinning donuts, and he's happy, and he's bouncing, and I did it. And then, of course, I add the praise to it. Now, would it be quicker for me to pick him up or just not drop him on the floor? Yeah, it'd be easier for me just to put him straight in the hamper. but he gets so much joy out of it.
Sure.
He just loves it. And he's the second dog I've taught to do this. I'll always have at least one doing it because it's fun.
One of our former apprentices sent me, and that was the third thing that struck this idea, was he had taught his dog the official Schutzhund retrieves over something,
right.
All those retrieves, and find it. But then he took it and made it into go to the ice chest and open the top and get me a can of something and bring it to me.
That was great.
So he put it on video to send to me, and he was saying, forget all of his, those that are into Schutzhund world, they're impressed. But for friends and family and coworkers, it's the video of the dog bringing him a can out of the
refrigerator.
Not the refrigerator.
Oh.
We all agreed that would not be a good thing to teach.
The cooler?
Yeah. But the cooler.
Okay.
He keeps a cooler just for canned beverages.
Okay.
And she brings him one of those. And she is a working shepherd and thrilled.
Yes.
You can just see it in every molecule of her body. I'm getting my dad.
Yes.
His thing. So find things that you do. Now, that doesn't mean you can't dance and have fun with your dog as well.
Oh, yeah. Well, and we'll talk about some more things, but it's time to take a break for our sponsor. And the sponsor is, as I said at the beginning of the podcast, petflow.com. They have a number of dog foods, lots of treats. Actually, I think they have about 150 different dog foods that they carry. A number of treats, training tools, pet food dispensing toys. It's a huge website. They've got lots of wonderful products. But one that Kate wanted to talk about today is for barking. We get a lot of people come to class say the neighbors complained about the dog barking.
It's called the Pet Corrector, and it's compressed air. But it has, and I've been wanting to try it. I had tried the compressed air used to clean up my computer keyboard. But that kind of went sss. This, I noticed, has a wider nozzle. So when pushed, it goes whoosh. I mean, it's pretty impressive. And then I thought maybe it might be too much. But I've got some students they're a lovely couple. They're well-educated, well-traveled, very kind people, and rather even-keeled. And they have 2 out-of-control, extra-large, way too big sibling Weimaraners. And when the doorbell rings, it sounds as though there's 12 dogs in there. And if you listen very, very carefully, you can hear, stop, that's enough. Please be quiet.
And the dogs don't hear a thing.
No.
Oh, goodness. And the dogs probably think they're defending their home and turf and owners.
Yeah.
And we've tried various things. I'm so used to using my voice. That's enough. Stop. Okay.
And then praising them when they're quiet.
Exactly. But this is just not, this couple could not do it.
Sure.
So I tried, this past week I went over to see them, and I took the Pet Corrector spray with me, and I showed it to them and said, can we try this? And they went, oh, sure, whatever you say. So I had him ring the doorbell, and they went charging, and they have high ceilings, so it echoes delightfully.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. And I gave one shot with this compressed air at the ground, and I had 2 Weimaraners back off 15 feet, sit down, and look at me and say, yes, ma'am.
Very nice.
And I thought Mom and Dad were going to faint.
And, of course, you praised the dogs to the high heavens.
I did, while Mom ran to the computer and said, what was that address? So she has already ordered hers.
Okay.
Very nice.
And they do come in different sizes. And I did try it in one class one time. And it was from a good 15, 20 feet away, but it was just that startlement.
Mm-hmm.
So,
it's not spraying something in the dog's face.
Right.
It's not...
That was Weimaraner's mom's question. Do I have to spray it right in his face? Like, no. It's the sound.
It's the startle.
Mm-hmm. And it's loud, and it's surprising, and it doesn't take much, and it won't hurt them.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
And we rang the doorbell on and off for the next hour and could not get them to make another peep.
Good.
Now, I don't know about the next day.
The owners are going to have to redo the lesson, of course.
Right. But they were delighted to sit there and keep saying, what good boys.
Yeah.
Before, they never really got a chance to praise.
So that is the Pet Corrector.
It's made by it's a good company, and the Company of Animals.
Okay.
Then they have different sizes, so you can carry it with you.
All right, and then Petra wants to talk about a special program that PetFlow has that sounds a lot of fun.
Yeah, actually, it's pretty cool. It's they do daily doorbusters, and they just put some of their items on special discount or special prices. For example, this was yesterday, and they're showing bully sticks, 81% off.
Which is awesome.
Like, wow, they're like 99 cents each.
Wait, that was yesterday?
That was yesterday. You missed out.
Now you tell me.
Then they have the beef. Oh, here's your beef ears.
Oh, yeah.
And they were 51% off. So they just have a variety of things. Some are treats. Some are this little bone glow-in-the-dark. You hang on their collar or reflector. 66% off.
Yeah, they got the pet corrector on.
The pet corrector was on yesterday.
Fine.
Oh, 34% off.
I've got one to play with.
Oh, I know you do. But what is nice is to know that each day, just check them out. Because you have these doorbusters and you never know what surprises.
And it's a variety of things. It's training tools, it's chew things, there's a dog tag for safety.
Bag of treats.
So there's a variety of different things.
On awesome discounts.
So
wonderful discounts.
Anyway, that's petflow.com/doggy, DOGGY, and put in the coupon code, and using the DOGGY for It's a Doggy Dog World, in the coupon code you get free shipping on any orders above $39. But check out the doorbusters on a daily basis, because who knows what you'll find up there.
Yeah, wonderful.
All right, so back to our podcast. So, Kate, thinking outside the box. We've talked a lot about introducing dog to clothes for bandaging and so forth. Dog booties. We've talked about using some tricks to teach things around the house, or get it to pick up towels, getting the newspaper, things like that. What are some other things that people can do to think outside the box?
We do it and play. But I also like doing it a little bit. It sounds going to sound weird. I do like to stress my dogs a little bit every now and then, because I want to teach them how to deal with stress.
Mm-hmm. Well, stress is a part of life.
You can't avoid stress.
No. And not all stress is bad. Sometimes people think that stress is a bad thing. And really, it's not. It's not for our dogs. It's not for us. We got to deal with stress.
It's not knowing how to deal with stress that's bad.
Right.
And I think there are enough people out there that want to keep their puppy dogs safe, which is great, but they also keep them safe from emotional stress or mental stress. And then when the dog does get stressed, because that's going to happen sometime in their life, then they don't know how to deal with it.
Well, a little bit of stress right now, as we're recording this. Petra's Aussie Rio and my English Shepherd Bones are both in a downstay right next to us, surrounded by toys from petflow.com.
Yeah.
And they would really much rather be playing with the toys and making noise, and we're requiring them to do a downstay. That's obedience training, and there's a little bit of stress in there.
Just enough for them to, and then they get rewarded a little bit, and then when they are released, we let them use up some of that energy.
Right.
But I just don't think enough dogs are. And so putting shoes on the dog. It's fun, we laugh at it, but it is stressful.
Sure.
But they can learn to cope with that. And then they can learn to cope with other things.
Right.
Yeah. What are some of the things that you think about as stressful that you try to do with your guys, besides putting shoes on?
Well, even just leaving them alone.
Yes.
Sure.
That's a big one.
Yeah.
You know, go into the other room, you stay, and then you go into another room. Can they do that without,
Exactly.
You know, you've got to help them learn to be alone and not be stressed out.
A stress that we do, not as often as we would like, but as often as we can, is travel with the dogs. That's exciting. It gives the dog an opportunity to go different places and do different things, but still, it's stressful for a dog who's a creature of habit.
And I was thinking about that the other day. I was out with some friends. We had lunch out on the patio, and the dogs were allowed. And then one by one, we went into the bathroom. And so whoever was on the patio held the dogs. Well, half the dogs did fine, and the other half whined and carried on. And their owners came running back. Oh, did you miss me? Did you miss me? And I thought, that's stress for those dogs, and they didn't successfully.
And then the owner came back and, oh, poor baby.
And just built on it. Just
added
to it.
Rather than being casual and, he lived.
I can see that my boy Walter is sitting up going, you coming back? I see you. Okay, fine. But he's not frothing at the mouth and having a meltdown.
Right,
exactly.
He's watching for me, but he's cool.
Yeah.
And that's on the Canine Good Citizen test. That's the kind of everyday life stress your dog should be able to handle.
Mm-hmm. Right, yeah. I mean, we put our dogs through it all the time. We go on our vacation.
Sure.
It's like we want to go check out a store, or it's like, hey, who wants to come in? Who's going to stay out with the dogs? And one of us will stay out there with what? 6 dogs?
Yeah.
And they all just sit there and hang out, wait while 2 go in. And
well, and a few months ago, I took 2 of mine, including the puppy, the English Shepherd, and went to a dog event, and it was just the 2 boys and myself, and my older dog stayed with Kate, which was stress on his part, too. Yeah. Oh, my God, Mom left me here. When is she coming back? But it was my puppy's first travel experience, other than from the breeder to my house. And I was paying attention. I wasn't sure how he would handle it, and it was the first time for my middle dog, Cisco, to be the big brother, because he'd always had Bashir there. Yeah. And Bashir would always be the one he could look up to. Oh, Bashir's calm? All right, it's okay. But I was very proud of both of them. Cisco stepped up to be the big brother, and the puppy, Bones, went, okay, he's cool with this? All right. And over the course of 5 days, we stayed in 2 different hotels, 2 different situations, went to the dog event where there was 75 other dogs, and both of them did very well. It's stressful. Yeah. It was stressful in a variety of different ways, and there were times I could see them both get a little, but they were dealing with it, and I was very proud of them.
So, friends with 2 dogs, they were saying how much they would love to sit on the patio and have lunch at the restaurant near their place. And I've said, well, yeah, of course your dogs are capable of it. Oh, it would be so embarrassing if they wouldn't settle down. So I said, fine. These tables are out here when the restaurant's closed. Come over in the evening. It's within walking distance of their home. And practice it. Have the dogs lay down. Bring with you snack, something to eat. And it won't matter if anybody's around while you keep telling them, that's enough, lay down, be still, whatever. And teach them to do it. So then you can take them out in public. And then that would give the parents a chance to learn to deal with the stress successfully.
Without facing
passing it on to
But you know what? Every dog owner in the world who has tried to do something different with their dog or go someplace or think outside the box or anything has been embarrassed on more than one occasion and will be again. But you know what? That stress we can deal with.
Right.
Because it's part of, I mean, look how many parents can be embarrassed by their kids. You know, dogs are probably better behaved than most kids. So, oops, I didn't say that.
She said it, we just don't get it.
So, anything else concerning thinking outside the box?
Just don't do the everyday routine. Whether it's, change it up. Feeding your dog in a bowl, that's boring. Have them work for it. Feed them out of your hand. Put them in a treat dispensing puzzle. Have them work for that. Hide it around the house or the backyard. If you've got a dog with a good hunting nose, let them hunt for their food. Go different places.
Use your trick training and obedience training for different things. Put it to use.
Useful.
Yeah. I think some people who train their dog think, sit down, stay, watch me, leave it, walk on a leash nicely, are good for those express things. But they don't think about how to use it in a variety of other ways.
Right.
And one of the
so we were teaching backup in trick class.
Uh-huh.
And then the next time we had a basic obedience class, you were telling them, this is a good thing to teach your dog to get out of your way if your arms are full of stuff and you can't see where you're going.
Yeah.
Back up. Get out of the way.
I use it all the time. Or move.
Yeah.
Move is not a standard obedience command, but it's one I teach all my dogs because I have 3 dogs. If I'm walking down the hallway and I've got an armful of laundry, I don't want to kick them or step on them. So, guys, move. And all 3 of them head 3 different directions. Whoosh, like birds.
Right. And that makes life so much nicer with living with our foreign exchange students from the Planet of Dog.
Planet K9.
Country dog.
And you know what we're noticing now with we just got a rescue, another Pomeranian. We've had her 2 weeks now. And I was just telling Liz, I was telling Kate, we've taken her to with us to get food. And just her being in the car and driving through, we did their drive-through because it's too hot to cook.
Did we mention it was hot and muggy?
Yeah.
I think I said that once, right?
But all the things is just watching her now experiencing these different things she just wasn't exposed to or very, very little of.
Sure. And that's stressful for her to get out and about.
Because she's this little tiny thing. She's maybe 5 pounds.
But she's also enjoying it.
Yeah. Because we take the other dogs because they're all used to it. So we figure, okay, that just kind of still okay. It's not so big. Everyone else is relaxed about it, so she can kind of feel their vibes. And she's doing really good. But we're bringing her absolutely everywhere and exposing her to a lot of little things. And you see her first kind of go, oh God, I don't know. And then she looks around to the other 2 palms and is like, oh, not supposed to be. Oh, okay, it's not a big deal. They're relaxed.
And the confidence that gives any creature. To know that, okay, I can handle this. Mm-hmm. That's a life skill.
Oh, yeah, definitely. All right, well, that wraps up our podcast for today. Thinking outside the box. Just try stuff. And you know what? If you try some different things, drop us an email here at the show. Liz@PetLifeRadio.com. And let us know what you tried. And if you try PetFlow.com, let us know what you think about that also. And remember, it's PetFlow.com/Doggy, DOGGY, and use the coupon code. And take a look at all their specials, including their doorbusters. Their daily doorbusters.
Great.
I'm going to have to put that on my computer as a favorite. And click on
check on it. Definitely.
Click on it regularly. All right, and that's it. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Having a rough day? Longing for the dog days of summer? Think your fun furry friend lives a dog's life? Well, find out everything you're begging to know as Pet Life Radio presents It's a Doggy Dog World with pet expert and award-winning author Liz Palaika. Every dog has his day, and you'll find out how to make your dog's day fun and rewarding every week on demand, only on PetLifeRadio.com.